Hi ladies, today's video is all about small feminine energy habits that you can do on a daily basis to make sure you're more connected to your feminine energy. I have 9 different tips for you ladies today. You can do maybe one habit each day, or you can take one habit that really resonates with you that you want to try as you enter your feminine energy journey. So let's get started. Also, side note, I did get a haircut. I wanted to go a bit shorter, so I hope you ladies like it. I am living for it. I feel a lot more feminine in it. So let's get started. My very first habit is to not share everything. Don't overshare. Don't feel like you have to tell everyone in your circle everything about you. You don't have to tell them personal things, work things, relationships. It's okay to keep things private once in a while. Especially as women, when we meet someone that we really enjoy right away, we have a tendency to overshare. You know, a lot of us may trauma dump sometimes if you're going through something and you meet someone that you really enjoy, but it's best also to not do that every time you meet someone new. Because not everyone deserves access to you, especially someone you may have just met, someone that you've only hung out with a few times, or people you don't know too personally just yet. You want to keep your feminine energy safe, and you want to give it out to people that truly value you and that really understand you. You don't want to just pass it out to everyone that you come along, because not everyone is going to care for your energy and keep it as safe as other people you're closest to, and of course how you do for yourself. You also need to ensure that you understand your value and know that being close to you is a privilege and getting to know you is a privilege as well. You want to ensure that you're kind of scouting out the people that you decide to be closest to, whether it be friendships or relationships or otherwise. You want to ensure that they respect you and your energy and they understand the transfer between the energies, and it's not just you giving it all away and them taking. You want to have that even exchange. My second habit to embody your feminine energy is to let go of control. I say this quite often, but it's important that when something happens, if you maybe had a plan for a vacation or an outing, anything along the lines of you made a plan for something and you expect it to go accordingly, if it doesn't, you have to learn to accept what is and keep moving forward. Sometimes not everything is going to be in our control. The daydream that you had in your head for a specific event may not go exactly as planned. So you kind of have to take what you have, sit on it for a sec. Don't start to kind of dwell on it, or don't get down or become overly anxious because it's no longer what you thought it was. That is releasing the control. And then you just have to move forward and accept what is and continue to go about your day or your vacation or your event and try to go with the motions. Go into your body, leave your head. To really embody your feminine energy and letting go of control, if something happens, you want to feel inside of you what is the next possible step, what feels good right now for you to move forward. Not overthink all the different possibilities, what you can do. Sink deep, take a breath, and move forward with what you feel is good on the inside. Too much control can lead to you constantly worrying and being extremely anxious, and that is ruled in the masculine. That means you're in the headspace and you've left your feminine energy. And that is very common. You know, I used to have a lot of anxiety and I used to be very controlling in relationships or different situations, but that caused me to be a very worried person, and I'd always be in my head. And you know, sometimes when you're in your head, it shuts down your body. Sometimes your nervous systems are wrecked, you get a stomach ache, you feel it in your chest, your throat closes up. That's how you know you're no longer in your feminine energy and you're ruling from your masculine, or even worse, you could be in survival mode. Sometimes it's good to let other people lead too. If you're on a date that didn't go as planned, let whoever you're on a date with, maybe the man can try and figure it out. Maybe he has a second idea, or he had an idea, or maybe he pre-planned for this. It's a great way to kind of see, you know, is this the kind of man that can take control when needed and lead the way when I need to? Or if you're with friends, this was me all the time. If I was in a friend group and I had a plan, I felt like I was always the one to fix it. But sometimes if I'm in a group of friends, I tell my husband, I'm like, can you, like if we're with a group of people, I'm like, can you just take the lead on this? Because sometimes, you know, no one wants to step up, and I'm glad that I have him if that's the case. If one of your girlfriends, you know that she's really accountable or she had an idea, you know, you can let someone else lead for a change and all the pressure doesn't have to be on you. My third tip for a great feminine energy habit is to allow yourself to take up time and space. A great feminine energy habit that I think would be a great starter for anyone is to not rush. If you catch yourself rushing for work, or you're the type that's really late all the time, really try to make it a point to get up on time, plan your time accordingly. I know for me, it takes me about an hour to get ready. So I know if I have something to do, I like to give me maybe 2 hours. I want to work out, I want to have breakfast, I want to get ready, and I'll be out the door. When you tend to rush, you're going to be yanked out of your feminine energy, especially if someone else is trying to rush you, because you're no longer in your body, getting ready, enjoying what you're doing, staying in the present. You're rushing because you're thinking of something that you have to get to in the future. I remember this one time, my mom was rushing me to get to the airport, and I was all over the place, I was discombobulated, and right as I was getting into the car, my dad comes out with my purse. My little purse that has your whole entire life in it, the most important thing to bring to the airport, your ID, money, things like that. I almost forgot the most important thing. Luckily, we're very close to the airport, so it would have been fine. But I'm this type where if you rush me, I'm going to forget something, and then you get into the car, you're on your way there, you realize you forgot what you needed, and you get into a whole different mood, Especially if you're just starting your day, if you leave the house rushing, that's going to kind of put a mood or set the tone for the rest of the day, that you're in this rushing feeling, and now you're going to spend the rest of the day trying to come back down, get into your body, and kind of level yourself out. My fourth feminine energy habit kind of relates to the previous one, is to slow down. This doesn't just have to do with rushing, but also when you're speaking to people, really take time to articulate what you're saying. Because imagine if I went through the whole video like this and you couldn't keep up and you had to slow it down, and I just sound like you just want to say, relax. You could kind of feel the energy shift as I started to speak really, really fast. You feel rushed. Again, back to feeling rushed. You feel rushed. You feel like you have to catch on to every word because you feel you're going to miss something. Instead of taking time and articulate yourself, and you won't have as many ums or uhs or likes, you won't have as many filler words when you're trying to talk. Another way to slow down is also to work on your breath. For me, if I've noticed that I'm very anxious or nervous, or sometimes if I have a busy morning or something happens that kind of puts me out of whack, I really, especially when I get into the shower, I can kind of feel in my body when I feel tense, when I feel like there's a lot of nerves. And I'll take a moment and I'll do some deep breaths. I'll usually inhale for 5, hold for 6, exhale for 6. That usually helps me, or however long or short that you need it to be. I especially do that when I'm alone and I don't have anything bothering me. Sometimes even I'll have like meditation music on to help me with that. And also to slow down, you can do it at your own pace if you're doing hobbies. Sometimes if I do a workout and I don't want such an intense one, I'll do yoga. Even though I'm supposed to do weightlifting or I'm supposed to be doing something high energy, I'll do yoga, or I'll do, a light Pilates, maybe 15 minutes instead of my usual 30 minutes. Because I still want that feeling of exercise, but you have to listen to your body first and feel like, okay, I don't think I can go too hard today. Let me slow down. My fifth feminine energy habit for you to practice is to start investing in yourself. And this can mean 2 things. It's educating yourself and also practicing self-care. When it comes to educating yourself, it's really important that you never stop learning and that you never stop growing. That's what feminine energy is. We're always learning, we're always growing. And we're doing it at our own pace, and we're doing it with things that we love. It doesn't have to necessarily be you're learning about finances and stocks. If you want to learn how to bake, sourdough bread, or if you want to make your own designs like clothing, anything like that. It could be pottery too, painting. Just take your own time with that. And always keep educating yourself on those things. If you enjoy making pottery, try and look up a YouTube video that will teach you how to make something specific. Always try to keep leveling up in your own way, but also at your own pace. Continue to read books. Especially, I love self-help books. That's a big thing for me. Self-help books, but you can also do books that inspire you as well. If you're a writer, you want to read all these different types of things like fiction, nonfiction, you want to read romance or horror, whatever it may be. You can read that to inspire you. And investing in yourself as a woman also comes with self-care. I don't have big, luxurious hair. So for me, going to the hair salon is usually a quick trip, right? This probably took like an hour because I had to cut it off a lot. Can do that in other ways. For me, like I like getting my nails done. I started getting my nails done a lot more, but I like to do my toes at home. I like to do a face mask at home. Some people like to go and get a massage or get a facial. Invest in yourself and your appearance, and how you feel physically. That could also be investing in your health in any way, workout classes that you enjoy. Never stop learning, never stop leveling up. Always keep investing in yourself. That kind of leads me to my 6th feminine energy habit, is to have a hobby, have a creative outlet. When we do art, or for me, I love to dance. I've loved to dance since I was like 5. I love to freestyle dance. I would do hip hop. I would do experimental dancing. That has always been my passion. I've even tried pole dancing before. And what I've learned was that type of creative outlet, especially dancing, it helps you to release stored trauma. And I realized this when I was in college, and obviously I didn't have time to go and dance every single day. So I would go maybe 1-2 months without it. And then when I would go, sometimes I would feel anger, or I'd feel a lot of sadness, or I'd cry, or I'd feel happiness, or I'd feel seductive. And it's because you have a lot of stored trauma within you when you haven't started your inner work, or let's say you're beginning the journey of healing. So art and getting a creative outlet is an amazing thing to do in your feminine energy. It can really inspire you to help you learn more about yourself, and it's a great release as well. My 7th feminine energy habit to help you would be to embrace rest. Remember, the masculine is all about doing, and the feminine is all about being. It's about resting. It's about doing nothing, if you will, when you're not necessarily doing nothing. You can, which is the rest, but it's also doing things for you. And a great way to start this is to learn to say no. A lot of us can be people pleasers, or we want to do the extra work at a job, or we want to constantly help others, because that's a big feminine trait. We love to help. We love connection, we love community, but it's important to create boundaries as a feminine woman. And when you want to say no, you can say no. Saying no can be a hard one for some people. Not everyone is used to it. I know for me, I used to, especially when I was younger, I always wanted to say yes to things. I always felt like I had to because I wanted to please others, or I didn't want to lose a friend, or I didn't want to disappoint someone. But when you feel in your body that you don't want to go to this event, or you can't go to the club, or you can't hang out, it's okay to say no, and to cancel that class, or tell your friend, no, I don't want to go out tonight, and just be honest. And it's very important to listen to your body, whether it's physically or mentally. It's like kind of when you're mentally really tired, but you feel like you have energy when you're laying in bed, or the opposite. You feel tired, maybe you had a long day, but your brain is still going and it's still wired. But you know you have to listen to one or the other. You don't want to drain yourself mentally, you don't want to drain yourself physically. And when one isn't at balance with the other, it's important to say no and take time to rest. My 8th feminine energy habit, and this might be the hardest, is to let yourself receive. Feminine energy is all about receiving. And it's kind of funny because as women, we're always giving. When we have a child, we're always nurturing it and giving to it. When we're married with a partner, you always want to give. You're always giving back to your sisters and your community. But feminine energy is actually also about receiving. It's allow others to give back to you to fill your cup. So let people cater to you, and that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be with gifts. It has to be with bought items. Like when a woman gives birth, and their neighbors come over, or family comes over with a home-cooked meal, and they help around the house with dishes and cleanup while she takes care of the baby. That is allowing yourself to receive, instead of being in your masculine saying, no, I got it. I can handle it all on my own. I can do it by myself. I don't need any help. That is a lot of hyper-independence and wounded energy. Any of your favorite love languages, mine would be acts of service and quality time. Let people give to you. Instead of planning all the dates. In all my past relationships, I would plan every day. Now I have a husband that plans the dates a majority of the time. Sometimes it'll be like, ooh, this looks like fun. He'll, get the tickets, or he'll tell me what day is good. And that takes a load off of me. When it comes to acts of service, I really enjoy when he'll do the dishes or he'll vacuum for me. And it's really important to allow yourself to be selfish. Once in a while, obviously not all the time, but it's important to cater to your needs. And it's also important to put yourself before others at times. If you feel really drained, or maybe you're around someone that sucks you of your feminine energy, if you're in a relationship, something toxic, and someone is draining you of your energy for their own benefit, important to take time, and in regards to the prior tip, build those boundaries and allow yourself to receive and know your worth. This is my last tip for you. Number 9, a great feminine energy habit, which is a personal one and it's gonna be a little silly, is to eat the sweet treat. And I know that's a silly one, and maybe not everyone likes sweets, but for me, I've had a hard time, especially because I love sweets. I have a big sweet tooth. I'm the type where I need a sweet treat after I go out to eat, and I've been really hard on myself at times. Or if, I decide I want to eat out and I want, a chicken sandwich with fries, or I want Chinese food, things that aren't the best for your body or fueling your body properly, it's okay to listen to it, especially when I'm getting my period. I fall really deep into my cravings. It's important that you can also educate yourself and look up, okay, I'm craving this, what's a healthier alternative? But it's also okay to eat your sweet treat. I have one probably once a day. Sweet treats can be anything. Sometimes I'm bad and I'll have a cookie, or sometimes it can be, like a strawberry, and I'll try and be a little better the next day. Feminine energy is all about your senses, and it's so important to open yourself up to those things. When you're eating something, you want to really think of how it smells, how it tastes, how it makes your body feel. When I eat a really nice warm chocolate chip cookie, sometimes I eat it a little too fast and I get a stomach ache, and my husband's like, babe, you need to slow down. But other times I'm like, I really want to enjoy this. You want to sit back, enjoy your warm cookie, and don't even think of anything else. It's important to not be so hard on yourself. And again, listen to your body, listen to what it's craving, and it's okay to fall into those cravings. It's totally normal, and you probably deserve it. All right, ladies, that is it for this video today. I hope you ladies enjoyed it. Leave a comment below about which one you think you struggle with the most and which one you think you're gonna try first, and let me know. I know for me, sweet treat obviously is my favorite one, but I also think having a creative outlet is one that I need to work on a bit more. I miss dancing. I miss being a bit more creative, even though I'm creative in my videos, but I definitely need to probably write a lot more. So leave a comment below, and I will see you ladies next week. Bye.